Runes, runes, runes. Are you stressed out about runes? Are you slacking off in runes upgrades? Which are the best runes for your character? Do you even want the legendary runes? What are the best options in the lowest budget? We are going to cover all the different types of runes which you should be equipping on your character for both PvE and PvP. And yes, different runes for PvE and PvP because why not? Generally speaking, everyone might think that the legendary runes are the best runes and the 10% runes are the best runes, but that is not the case. In this video, I'm going to show you which are the best runes. It might not be the legendary runes in all the cases. And obviously, the best runes for the low budget and low resonance people like me who do not spend a lot or maybe are in the lower resonance, right? As usual, everything is going to be time-stamped, so make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you like the contents of the channel. And now let's deep dive into runes. So first, let's talk 2 to 3 things about runes which are very important for this video, for this topic. Number one, there are different types of runes, right? Gray runes, blue runes, yellow runes, legendary runes. This is a rune chart prepared by Maru. If you don't have this rune chart, I'll link it in the description below. It was posted by Keys in the Reddit. So there are different types of runes, and on the top of the chart you can see there are 3%, 4%, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. What does these mean? 3%, 4%. This means that if you look into the game and if you look a yellow rune, base attribute of the equipped item increased by 6%. For blue runes it is 5%. So yeah, similarly if you go here, like blue runes 5%, yellow runes 6%. So this is what this chart depicts, and below this, these are the magic attributes. Now in this video I am going to share the best runes which is going to be applicable for most of the players, and especially for players who like to class change and would like to have runes that are versatile, that goes with different types of builds, different types of classes. I totally understand that you can use any type of these magic attributes and make builds around them. For example, damage to enemies, like a dash cooldown, monsters have a 9% chance to explode. You can make arguments for all of these stats that they are good, but what I'm going to do in this video is I'm not going to deep dive into build specific runes. I'm going to state out the runes which are good in general for all the classes, and especially if you like to class change. So now we start the first part of the video, that is the best PvP runes for your character. I'll start with low budget and then gradually I'll move to the best in slot. So for PvP, you do not want to see these 5%, 6%, 8, 9, 10. Damage is good in PvP, damage in life, but that is not the highest priority. What is highest priority is these magic attributes. And basically how I see runes is that you can use these runes to basically fill the gaps in your character. Now what I mean by that, if you look at the runes, some magic attributes, let me show you. For example, the ECE rune, this one gives you movement speed, and this is a main hand rune, so you can equip 2 of these. So if your character does not have maximum movement speed of 70%, you can use this rune to fill in the gap and basically increase your movement speed. And that is how I see runes. That is how I see using runes, personalizing runes based on your character. Does not mean that if you get a yellow rune, that is better. Most of the time, like personally, instead of this FA rune, I prefer this ECE rune, right? Just because I am lacking movement speed. Now you might be a barbarian and you already have, maybe you're using sprint and you have the maximum movement speed. Maybe ECE rune is not for you. So this is my theory, this is my philosophy for rune that I think is going to be the best approach. Now since I said that for runes for PvP, what you should look is for these magic attributes, these magic bonuses, and you can see that there are some really nice ones. For example, there is attack speed, there's beneficial effect duration, there's primary attack damage, crit damage. There is a lot. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to highlight all of these and show you in a bit. And boom, here we are. As you can see, I have marked a lot of these bonus attributes. It might seem a lot, but don't worry, we'll go one by one and it is not so complicated at all. So you might see that there are so many runes, but for each slot the runes are specific, right? So first at the top you can see pants. So for the pant slot, you have to choose one of these runes, right? So if we look at the gray runes and the blue runes, I don't think any of these catch my attention. In the gold rune, basically there is continual damage taken decrease, that is still nice, and in the 8% rune you get a shield. Honestly, for pant I do not have a very strong opinion right off the bat, right? I think if you get a gold rune or legendary rune, whatever you use, you can use them. But if you are on a low budget, I think basically, and you want to buy it from the market, just buy the Ati rune. Maybe this will drop from the open world also. So for pants, I think I will definitely choose. I don't want to spend a lot, and I don't want to use LAZ just for to gain this shield. This shield is nice, but it is not going to be my top priority for pants, because the pant runes honestly I did not like much, to be honest. So Ati rune is going to be my preference. This is what I'm going to use. Let me darken this. Yeah, so Ati rune is the one that I'm going to use. Now for offhand is a very competitive spot. Here there are a lot of magic attributes that are very good. Number one, let's look at this damage taken. The gray runes and blue runes are not so good. The yellow rune has primary attack damage increase. This is very nice. Basically, primary attack is going to help you in PvE and maybe not much for PvP. But when you look at the 8% route, it has critical hit chance. This is going to be my top priority. But if you are on low budget, you can use this one. Low budget. If you have a better higher budget, like ZUH runes in my market goes for a very big high value. This one goes for the minimum value of 2700 runes. So until I find ZUH, I'm going to use URS runes, two of these. And if you look at the 9% and 10% rune, actually I do not prefer the 9% rune. Yes, damage to elites, these are good for PvE, but we are talking about PvP, right? Damage to shielded enemies also nice, but I think I'll definitely take crit chance over these. Now the 10% rune has attack speed, the primary attack damage increase, but I still think critical hit chance is going to be better. So in fact, if you get 9% or 10% rune, I would actually sell these and then maybe buy this critical hit chance 8% rune. I think this is the better one for the offhand, both the offhands. Going to mark this with orange because this is like the best in slot in my opinion. So now we move on to the chest piece. For the chest piece, again, don't use the gray and the blue runes, try to avoid them because the good stuff only start from the yellow runes. And honestly, chest piece is also again not my top priority. I'll also say why chest and legs are not my top priority, because you know these the base attribute of the chest and legs is life. So even if you have the low quality runes like silver rune here or maybe a blue rune here, it does not matter, it's okay. It is only going to increase your life. That is not very high priority. So for chest, I think in the gold you have the CIR which gives block chance. This is nice. Before that, nothing much caught my attention. There's block chance for the legendary runes as well. So to be honest, I didn't like any of these chest runes. However, the 10% rune is good. It has the attack speed bonus. But this is the 10% rune. This is going to be extremely expensive. So if you're a low resonance player and if you happen to get this, better off to sell and invest in some other runes. But yeah, if you're looking to get the best in slot, I think DAW is the best in slot here. Unfortunately, it's the 10% one. But if you are on a low budget, what you can do is just take CIR and call it a day. Now let's go to the head and shoulders. There are two runes which you need here, right? So the best runes that I found, the best ones that I found here are the magic attributes: attack speed increase, beneficial effect duration increase. The legendary one has attack speed and skill cooldowns. And also there is one more: attacks, block chance and beneficial effect duration. If you ask me, I do not like this one. Block chance is nice. Beneficial effect duration you can also get in the gold rune. So why would you go for the expensive one, right? So in my opinion, the best one in the budget is going to again be the gold rune TYR. Now you can say, why do you choose beneficial effect duration over skill cooldown? So this is going to be depending on your character. Skill cooldowns have a limit, like there can be a skill cooldown of up to 30%, like command cooldown, column cooldown decrease, right? You can get cooldown reduction from awakenings as well. However, beneficial effect duration, I saw a video from Mao. I put it on the screen. So in this video, he said that the beneficial effect duration you can keep on stacking up. He thinks that there's no upper cap. So I think I'm going to choose beneficial effect duration just because of that. Skill cooldowns, it is basically your choice if you think that this is more required. I think TYR is the best in slot, or it can be OTH depending on your character. I'm going with TYR. Now, so two of these, right? Now we go on to the main hand. For the main hand, we have the ECE rune, which has movement speed increase. Movement speed is also available in AST runes. Apart from this, what other stats we have? We have skill damage increase, crit damage, right? So these are good for PvE. Obviously for PvP as well, these are good, but it now depends on your character. If you do not have high movement speed in PvP, then that is a disadvantage. If you do not have it, like I'm using ECE, and I think for low budget this is very good. However, if you already have movement speed, then you can go for Far rune on LEV rune. I think skill damage increase is nice, crit damage is nice. I am indifferent to both of these depending on your character. Low budget ECE will do just fine. Now if you look at the 10% rune here, it has damage to full life enemies, skill damage, damage to players and elite monsters. This is actually going to be the best in slot. This is a lot of damage for full life enemies, everything, right? This is going to help you in PvP, PvE both, right? So this is the best in slot, but I think there are much economical options. I'm going with ECE, even though if I get a FA rune, I'll still use ECE rune. So these are the, for PvE, these are the best low budget, the green tick ones. These are the low budget runes. And if you want better ones, basically best in slot, you can definitely, the biggest priority is going to be this one. Let me mark it in purple, the ZUH rune. This is going to be the most important one. Crit chance, for me at least. This is what I believe. So yeah guys, for PvP, do not be worried if you do not have the legendary runes. Obviously if you have a legendary rune, definitely you can use it, but don't be too much worried because the gold runes are, I think, very good options for low budget. Now if you want, you can take a screenshot of this scribbling that I did in case you want to refer it maybe. Yeah, so after this, let's move on to the PvE section. If you are a PvE player and you want to min-max the PvE damage, what runes should you use? Now for PvE, these 9%, 8%, 10%, these actually become more important because damage is important. However, remember the pants and chest essence, the base attribute of pants and chest is not damage. So for pants and chest, it is okay to have not have the 9, 10, 8% runes. But other slots has damage. So yeah, if you have these, actually become very important for PvE. First we are starting with the pants runes. In the pants section, basically if you see here, all of these stats, these are for defensive stats. For PvE, I don't think so these are going to be much useful. Like I said, pants do not have damage also, so the 8%, 9% also does not matter much. I think if you want on a budget, if you are on a budget, basically take the Ati rune like you took in the PvP. This is going to help you in PvP and PvE both, right? However, there is something which I think is very interesting here, like this one, heal for 1.2% of max life every time you are out of a combat. This is a very interesting stat for PvE, difficult content, maybe challenge rift, or maybe even high level raids or gauntlet, right? This can be useful, but apart from that, I didn't see much for the pants, right? So next we move on to the offhand. Now for offhand, again, this is a very competitive slot, and there is so many good runes for offhand. For damage, like I prefer in low budget, definitely the primary attack damage is going to be my favorite, because a lot of builds that I play has a need primary attack damage. but definitely my number one priority is going to be the ZUH rune. This is going to be the best in slot because of the critical hit chance that it provides. Now there are some other, the higher ones also has very good one. Now REH is also has the primary attack boost, right? So this one is also amazing. Best in slot in my opinion. It can, depending on your character, if you do not have a lot of crit chance, if you already have a lot of crit chance, maybe REH will be better, but I think ZUH is just such a good rune. It provides you 4% crit chance. It is unbelievable. So REH, ZUH, whatever, you can choose one of them. PIN has damage to elites, but that's okay. I don't think so that is of very high priority. Next we move on to the chest runes. For the chest runes, again it is not going to be a high priority, just like pants. All of these basically these stats for the chest are basically defensive stats. A couple of them stood out to me. The door rune, basically this one is going to be the best in slot because it has attack speed increase and it is 10% rune. Definitely best in slot. Very difficult to obtain. Apart from that, you can use basically the CIR rune. Basically at least you will get block chance and monsters have a 9% chance to explode. So I'll actually mark this in green. This is going to be the best budget option. Plus I'm also using this for PvP, right, for block chance. So I think this is good enough for PvE as well. So next we move on to the Helm and Shoulder pieces. Here if you see in the 9 and 10%, basically most of these stats are defensive stats, like continual damage taken decrease, life increase, enemy damage decrease. Here you have a beneficial effect duration for sure. This is nice, but apart from that, these have all defensive. That's why I do not prefer these. I actually think the best in slot is going to be attack speed increase and skill cooldown. Or if you already have maximum skill cooldown, you can definitely go for TYR rune. I think for head and shoulders, this is also again going to be the best in slot rune again. So you can see a lot of these runes are basically best in slots, are also good for PvP and PvE as well. And finally we move on to the main hand. For the main hand, this RAUM, this is going to be great because all of these is damage buff, damage to full life enemies, skill damage, everything is going to be very good. If you don't have that, the next best is AST. It has damage to it has movement speed and also increased damage to below 30%. So this is nice. What I am using in low budget, you can use ECE rune. Obviously it has damage, but you can also go for FA rune. For low budget, I think FA rune is good enough for main hand. It has skill damage increase, and if I'm hoping you already have movement speed. If you don't, maybe you can prefer ECE rune again because it has damage increase to elites, 2% damage to below 30%, right? So this is there. So ECE is also good and FA is also good. For if you but if you want to maybe even go better far beyond, I think AST or RAUM, I think these two are going to be the better ones. So yeah, these are I think the best in slot runes for PvE for low budget and high budget as well. So I hope this video gave you some insights into the runes, basically helped you make some good decisions. Like for me, my next target is basically to remove this primary attack damage, the gold rune, to the critical hit chance, the offhand rune. I think I need those are going to be my number one priority. For main hand, I am good with this movement speed, but obviously there is one more main hand rune with movement speed. If I can get hands with that on that one, I'll switch to that one. So this is how I'm going to progress my runes. For now, I think gold on all of these and blue on all of these, I think this is a very good starting position. Then legendary here and 2 legendary here is going to be my next priority. I like the beneficial effect durations that this TYR runes provides, and for legs and pants, honestly I did not like any of them. It is mostly for defensive. Obviously defensive stats are important for a character, so that is a judgment I leave on to you, right? So thank you for watching this video. I hope this was insightful. If you have any more comments or if you have any more questions, let me know down in the comments below. That's all for this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.